name is Brittany Murphy, and I go to Herbert Hoover Middle School.
Brittany was so wonderful. There was nobody else like her.
There was kind of a sweet, childish, lost quality that she had that just breaks your heart.
She was successful immediately.
You cannot be a teen girl and not love Brittany. In 8 Mile, Clueless. These are movies that will stand the test of time. Brittany Murphy was super cute, but in Hollywood, you have to be Gwyneth Paltrow.
She was not a typical pretty girl, and so many young women in Hollywood are pressured enormously.
She had lost an inordinate amount of weight, and she was dressing totally differently.
She said, that's what I've been told if I wanted to be considered as a leading lady. During a little dip she was having, he came along.
Ashton Kutcher has just confirmed that he had a close relationship with none other than Sean Diddy Combs, and now he's allegedly terrified of what might happen if he speaks out. Sources reveal that Ashton isn't just testifying against Diddy's also considering cooperating with investigators, especially regarding the suspicious 2009 death of Brittany Murphy. But insiders say Ashton is genuinely scared, worried about the potential backlash and realizing that Diddy's reach might be far deeper than anyone ever imagined. If Ashton steps forward, it could crack wide open Hollywood's darkest secrets, things that have been buried for over a decade. This isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's about the entire machinery of silence, power, and fear that operates beneath the surface of celebrity culture. So buckle up, because this story is about to shock you, revealing just how far Diddy is willing to go to stay out of prison. Guys, Hollywood's underbelly just got way darker, and guess who's right in the middle of it? None other than Ashton Kutcher. Yes, the That 70s Show heartthrob is suddenly caught up in the messy web surrounding Diddy, who is currently drowning in serious legal trouble over trafficking and racketeering charges. And here's the kicker: Ashton has confirmed.
I was around Ashton Kutcher and Diddy before, and they were speaking about Brittany Murphy. And I don't think I ever told this story, and I'm about to tell this story here. While he was married to Demi Moore, he was still sneaking around seeing Brittany Murphy. You understand? We were going to Nets game, so we picked him up, and he was explaining to Diddy that every time he goes to Brittany's house, paparazzi always catches him or almost catch him coming out her apartment or coming out the building. Diddy was telling him that's either the doorman or your security, you know what I'm saying? And he was still married to Demi Moore at the time. So you could have something, you could be right. Because it's crazy how they said her and Kim and some other individual with them or around them all died of pneumonia and they were in perfect health.
That just gave me the shivers, that, because how can these two people be around the same people but die of the same death? Is it a case of the stories that are going to expose them off, they become a
confirmed his close ties to Diddy, sparking a wildfire of speculation that's got the entire internet playing detective. Now, if someone told you a few years back that Ashton Kutcher would be linked to a conspiracy involving Diddy and the chilling, still unresolved death of Brittany Murphy, you'd probably laugh it off. But here we are. Rumors are flying that Ashton might be cooperating with federal investigators, and not just as a bystander. He could be a key player in this puzzle. Let's rewind to Brittany Murphy. She wasn't just another Hollywood starlet. She lit up every screen she graced, but her final days, straight out of a psychological thriller. Friends say she was terrified, convinced she was being watched, maybe even poisoned. Then, out of nowhere, in December 2009, she collapses in her bathroom and dies. Pneumonia was the official cause, but nobody close to her bought that story. And if that wasn't eerie enough, her husband, Simon Montague, died in the exact same house just 5 months later, under suspiciously similar circumstances. With Diddy's alleged empire of secrets starting to unravel and Ashton Kutcher suddenly in the spotlight, people are beginning to wonder, was Brittany Murphy's death part of something much bigger? Something no one dared speak about until now. The connections are getting harder to ignore, and Hollywood's shiny surface may be hiding some seriously dark truths. See, when it comes to Diddy, the whispers never really stopped, they just got darker. His name has floated through some of the music industry's most chilling unsolved mysteries. We're talking alleged ties to the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, two jaw-dropping claims that he wanted Kid Cudi gone simply because of a rumored fling with Cassie. Yeah, it's that deep. But one theory that refuses to die: his supposed link to the strange, tragic death of actress Brittany Murphy. At first glance, her death seemed like another sad Hollywood story: pneumonia, anemia, and a cocktail of meds. Tragic, yes. Suspicious, not really. But now, Ashton's testimony suggests otherwise. You see, people never really bought the pneumonia story, and once internet sleuths get their hands on a suspicious case, they dig deep. That's when the mold theory exploded. Many believed toxic black mold in Brittany's home was the real culprit. The theories spread like wildfire until investigators searched the house from top to bottom and found absolutely nothing. Mold was ruled out, but doubts lingered. Because, let's be honest, the timeline was strange. Brittany's sudden collapse felt too abrupt, too eerie. Then, like a plot twist straight from a horror film, Simon Monjack dies in the same house. Just 5 months later, same strange symptoms, same chilling silence. That's when Diddy's name started creeping back into conversations. No direct links, no official confirmations, but the whispers, loud as ever. Conspiracy theories began to brew, suggesting something more coordinated, something far more sinister might have been happening behind the scenes. And in a world where truth often hides behind power, money, and NDAs, the court of public opinion has already started drawing its own conclusions. Because here's the thing, so much about Brittany's case still doesn't add up. The pieces don't quite fit. And when you put that confusion alongside Diddy's growing mountain of scandals, accusations, and federal investigations, it's no wonder people are asking, what really happened to Brittany Murphy? And who's been hiding the truth all along? You start to think, well, who really gained from her dying? There were more questions after the autopsy than answers. People started wondering if there was more to this story. Simon had all these secrets. He actually said, ... people in the government were watching them. Brittany's dad was convinced someone had done it. You can literally see the mold in the house. Is the place cursed? Something made her sick. A healthy 32-year-old doesn't just die like that. And here's where this whole story really starts, spiraling into a Hollywood horror flick that makes you question everything, because guess what? Brittany Murphy's own father never bought the official cause pneumonia and anemia. That's what they said took her out. He wasn't having it. So, about a decade ago, he took matters into his own hands and hired a private investigator. And what did they allegedly find? It sent shockwaves through anyone still paying attention. Heavy metal poisoning. Not trace amounts, not something you'd get from a bad supplement or sketchy takeout. We're talking serious levels, consistent with being slowly poisoned over time. Now, here's where the plot thickens, and in the darkest way possible. Those same whispers of poisoning have followed the death of Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, who died in 2018 under equally strange circumstances. Let that sink in. 2 women, years apart, both reportedly scared, both allegedly showing signs of poisoning, and both somehow connected directly or indirectly to Diddy. Before her death, Brittany had been telling close friends that something was seriously wrong. She felt watched, she was terrified. She even told people she thought she was being poisoned. This wasn't some dramatic Hollywood meltdown, this was real fear. And then poof, she's gone. And if that wasn't chilling enough, her husband Simon Monjack died just 5 months later. Same house, same official cause, pneumonia and anemia. Again, what are the odds? To this day, people are convinced it's not a coincidence. It's a pattern that's getting harder and harder to ignore. And now, with Kim Porter's case echoing those same eerie details, the speculation is roaring back. Were these women silenced? And if so, why? And let's not forget the wild card in all of this, Ashton Kutcher. Yep, the charming, funny guy. From our favorite sitcoms, he dated Brittany Murphy, remember? But when she died, he went radio silent. No emotional tributes, no media statements, just a strange, icy quiet. Now that his name is popping up in the same circles as Diddy's darker allegations, fans are starting to wonder, was that silence more than just grief? Was it fear, guilt, or was he keeping his distance from something far more disturbing? As more people connect the dots, one name keeps circling back to the center of it all, Diddy. Suddenly, all those wild conspiracy theories don't sound so crazy anymore. Now, let's be honest, what happened to Brittany wasn't just tragic. It was terrifying. The deeper you dig, the more you realize this might not have been an accident at all. This might have been a warning. Brittany was everywhere in the early 2000s, a rising star, magnetic, adored. But behind closed doors, her life was unraveling. Fast, toxic relationships, total isolation, alleged financial and emotional control by her husband, Simon Monjack, and that growing paranoia like something, or someone, was closing in. Then came that fateful morning, December 20th, 2009, a 911 call. Brittany collapsed in the bathroom, rushed to Cedars-Sinai, cardiac arrest. Pronounced dead by 10 a.m., the world was stunned. Hollywood mourned. But something about the official story never quite added up. Pneumonia, anemia, multiple intoxication, what the coroner said. But here's the kicker. Simon immediately tried to block the autopsy. Why? What was he afraid they'd find? He told the press there was nothing dangerous in the house, just herbal meds and cough syrup. Really? Because what came out later was way more disturbing. Years later, Brittany's father had enough and hired that private investigator who uncovered something chilling: high levels of heavy metals in Brittany's system, consistent with slow poisoning. And guess what? That same type of poisoning has been whispered about in connection to Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, who also died suddenly in 2018, from, you guessed it, flu-like symptoms and pneumonia. Brittany feared she was being poisoned. Kim reportedly feared for her life too. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. Brittany's final months were a complete transformation. She was frail, terrified, confiding in friends about feeling watched, targeted, unsafe. She wasn't delusional. She was warning us. And then, just 5 months later, Simon dies too. Same house, same cause, same creepy silence. Now, add in the real Hollywood twist. Brittany had dated Ashton Kutcher. It was short but intense. Some thought they'd get married. Then boom, he's with Demi Moore, climbing the power ladder. Both Demi and Ashton have been rumored to attend Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. Those hush-hush gatherings now alleged to be riddled with blackmail, exploitation, and sinister agendas. And here's the real kicker. Brittany allegedly started asking questions about those parties. She saw things, heard things that made her rethink who she could trust. Once she started digging, people believe the clock started ticking. When you connect the dots, Brittany's paranoia, Simon's strange behavior, Kim Porter's eerily similar death, Ashton's silence, and Diddy's ongoing scandals, it all starts looking less like a conspiracy theory and more like a full-blown cover-up. Why did Brittany believe she was being poisoned? Who had the power to keep her quiet? And why has no one in Hollywood has never demanded real answers? Brittany Murphy didn't just die, she was erased. And the deeper you dig, the more it looks like she uncovered something they never wanted the world to see. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our other videos to stay fully updated on all the latest breaking news. Until next time, stay curious and take care. Bye.